And Jesse, tell us about you having to actually swim out of your home, which was underwater this evening.
Yes, my inside the house, it was up to my chest. I had all my furniture floating up, and my house was 5 feet above the ground. And when I stepped outside, I was underwater. So I heard on the radio that on my Walkman that there was going to be another surge. And if I stayed there, I knew I wasn't going to make it because I was already underwater. So basically what I did, I swam to the stop sign, and then as I kept traveling east, it got lower and lower. But
so you knew where you were all along the way. I mean, how far away from here did you start?
Oh, I'm about 14 blocks from here.
14 blocks?
Yeah.
How much of that did you swim?
Oh, I only swim. It seemed like my block's the only one that's underwater. As I swam towards the stop sign, I was able to touch the ground with my feet, and my shoes were weighing me down, so I had to kick them off. And as I walked further east, it got shallower and shallower.
Shallow, so you could actually walk it. All right, so you live in an area with how many homes?
Approximately 9 on each side, about 18.
Are they all underwater? Did people stay like you did?
Yeah, no, I think I was the only foolish one that did that.
Yeah, can you believe what's happened here tonight?
No, I think my house is underwater right now. I'm almost sure of it. Because it was, like I said, it was up to my chest inside the house. And now with this, and as I was traveling this way, the water was going towards my neighborhood, traveling that way.
Now, Jesse, you just got here before this western eye wall kicked in, didn't you?
Yeah, about 5 minutes before it started.
Holy smokes. So the eye potentially saved your life. The fact that the calm before this next eye wall.
Exactly. I saw it was real calm. I said, either now or never.
Right, right. Well, listen, guy, we're here. You got all the fingers and all the toes. And
right.
You said your daughter's in Pennsylvania?
No, Pasadena.
In Pasadena,
yeah.
So hopefully she's up early watching us.
Hopefully. Thank you.
All right, we'll go get some coffee and dry off if you can inside, guys. Thanks for talking to us, Jesse. We appreciate that. Holy smoke. I mean, imagine that. You're in your house. It's flooding. You have to swim to safety. I mean, thank goodness, guys, when you look outside at what's going on here with this western eye wall, that Jesse was actually able to do that. I mean, holy smoke. I mean, if this thing kicked in when he had left his home, I don't think we'd be talking to him tonight. So thank goodness for the eye, really, coming over this area in Galveston. Now, I want to show you what happened since we talked to you last. There are awnings from this hotel here, the San Luis, that stretch out, I don't know, probably about 12 feet or so. And here's one that's completely come loose and found its way around a palm tree and into the back of a police car. So you know there was a heck of a force to rip that right off the hotel wall, probably send it airborne, because I don't recall where it was from. There's one next to us, and that's the only one I've seen, and this one's still intact. But there was glass surrounding all that and all those little panels, and those obviously continue to fall out with this kind of a wind. Now, for whatever reason, people are out driving around, and what I think happened, guys, is the media was out, some of the media, during the eye, getting some pictures, seeing what was going on, and all of a sudden, I mean, this really came up quick. I would say within 5 minutes, we went from gusts to 15 miles an hour to gusts that are near 100 miles an hour out there. Didn't take long. We come in here, we get into this concrete structure, if you will, with the opening where we can show you what's going on outside. Sure, occasionally the light goes out from time to time, but we also see debris like we showed you there, and also like some of these tiles that are laying on the ground just floating around out there. But look at the wind, just wind-swept horizontal rain here, palm trees swaying in what is easily 100-mile-per-hour winds. I can't imagine the damage that we're going to be looking at tomorrow when we can actually get out there. But the flooding here in the lower level of this concrete structure here is obviously going to keep us here for a while, guys, because we parked intelligently. We were thinking anyway, we were parking our vehicles up high enough. What we didn't count on was the water that was going to sit in the base of this thing. So, Jeff, sometimes you think you count for everything, but sometimes the thing that you miss is the thing that's going to hurt you the most. Back
All right,
to you.
Jim, I need to ask you this, and I'm going to go back to Jesse there, the man who was very, very lucky that he was able to get out when the eye passed over. But I got to tell you, he is a poster child for why you shouldn't stay. When they tell you to evacuate, you need to get out. He just got lucky.
Well, I mean, you heard what he said. He goes, I got 8, 9, 10 neighbors, and I was the only one foolish enough to stay. I mean, he openly admitted that to us on television. So, he obviously shouldn't have stayed. And Jesse looks like he's been around long enough potentially to have dealt with Carla here, certainly Alicia back in 1983. So, You know, you wonder sometimes if you go through storms like that, why the heck would you stay again? You know what I mean? And why would you do something like that? But you know, that's just the way. You know, we can't tell everybody what they have to do. We can only warn them and be sincere about what we're trying to do and get people out of harm's way. And I'll tell you, Jeff, what the scary part is Jesse is just one of potentially 24,000 people that stayed on Galveston Island. It's one of 24,000. So hopefully they aren't suffering a similar fate, unless it's alive. All right, let's talk to Mike Bettis, who, Mike, I would think that you're about 30 miles to my north and west. You're probably into some of the calm right now, aren't you?
Yeah, finally, Jim, because it got very rough there for several hours, and it was just absolutely amazing and at times frightening with the winds that gusted over 100 miles an hour here in the Houston area. And still, Houston downtown, we're in southeast suburbs, Houston downtown is getting hit pretty hard right now. We're now getting reports of windows being blown out in some of the downtown buildings. We're likely to see some of the heaviest rain come through there with some of these bands right now, and so flooding is going to be a concern for us down there. How will the bayous hold up? How will we be able to get that water out of the city? Big concerns for this metropolitan area of over 5.5 million people that always seems to flood no matter how little it rains in this town. So a lot is going on here, no question about that, and we're likely going to see, even as you curve back down along that eye wall, the next approach of the eye wall into Galveston, and not that bad right now, but it's going to get significantly worse as Ike approaches the Galveston area on the backside there and then pushes its way north and east, maybe through the state over the next, say, 24 hours or so. Then it becomes problems for places like Waco and Dallas-Fort Worth. So by no means are we done with this by any stretch of the imagination. Certainly what we had to go through here the past couple of hours has really been tough to contend with. I mean, the howling winds are deafening at times, that's for sure. It'll take you back a couple of hours and show you precisely what it looked like. I mean, it was really, at times, truly frightening. Tree branches were breaking. We had some high surge that was coming up, and really just the winds themselves peeling off portions of the hotel where we're staying at. 3 different sections of the front here I can see have been torn off. Looks like maybe the first floor up through the 3rd floor, then maybe around the 7th floor, then the 12th floor or so. We've got portions of the front of the building that have been peeled off here. A real rough go here for the past several hours, no question about that, as that northern and kind of northwest eye wall came right over us here in Clear Lake. But I want to take you back also to kind of one of the more embarrassing moments for yours truly. Never been blown down in a hurricane before until Ike came along. Take a look.
Well, you know, I haven't seen a lot of debris recently, but it was a couple of hours ago that hold on. All right. Sorry about that. Wow, that was a heck of a gust. As I get back to your question here, it was a couple of hours ago.
And that was just a couple of hours ago, and we were broadcasting out in really the thick of what Ike had to dish out. And I got to tell you, when those winds come in, they gust maybe 70 plus. It's enough to knock you right over, that's for sure. I did manage to measure with a handheld anemometer a wind gust up to 101 miles an hour, and how I was able to do that was actually in an exposed area right off of Nassau Bay where we are, but there was a short, about waist-high, cement wall, so I could kind of crouch down below that, hold on to it with one hand, and hold the anemometer, a cup anemometer, up with the other hand. Take a look at it, 101 miles an hour, Jeff and Jen. I mean, absolutely amazed when I looked at that, but I wouldn't doubt that anemometer was true, because we've had a lot of damage now, a lot of wind damage since that eye has come through.
All right, thank you.